Welcome to another amazing episode of Raising Private Money. I'm Jay Connor, your host, also known as the Private Money Authority. In this episode today, I am going to unpack for you step by step how in the world it is that I made $155,140 in only 5 weeks by using private money. Now, this deal just happened a few weeks ago. I just cashed out of it. And I'm going to break down for you in this episode, first of all, how did I find this real estate deal? Secondly, what were the seller's motivations? And then thirdly, the very, very important key takeaways and lessons learned from what you can learn from this deal. There's five big ones, five big takeaway lessons. After that, I'm going to walk right through the numbers for you of exactly how much I paid for the property, what we sold it for, what the realtor fees were, the rehab costs, purchase price, how much was the private lender interest, the closing cost to buy and sell, and then the net. So when I'm sharing with you a net of $155,140, I'm not sharing this with you to brag at all about this deal. I'm sharing this number with you because, first of all, this is a real deal. And secondly, the numbers are net. This is not television, Hollywood, pie in the sky, smoke screen full of hogwash and baloney. This is actually accounting for all the real costs. Because I tell you, the shows that you see on TV, that's not real life. In fact, the only thing real about reality TV is that none of it's real. But I'm breaking down here with you right here in this episode all the facts on this deal, and as I said, the very, very important takeaway lessons that you can get from this. So let's go ahead and jump in. First of all, this property, in fact, you can look it up on the tax cards on public record. The address of this property is 855 Salter Path Road, and it's in a development called Colony by the Sea. Now, this is a beautiful oceanfront condominium, oceanfront right there on the beach. It's on the very top floor. And I'm telling you, when you are standing in this condominium, you feel like that you are on a cruise ship out in the Atlantic Ocean. Because when you look out the windows and the way that it was architecturally designed, no matter which room that you are standing in, you're looking oceanfront. So they have the condominium that's sort of built at a 45-degree angle to the beach. And that way, the living room, the bedrooms, all the rooms, you got a beautiful ocean view. So how did I find this deal? Well, this seller lead, and by the way, this is what we call a for sale by owner lead off market. I mean, in this market, there's nothing in the multiple listing service. I haven't bought anything in the multiple listing service in years. We rely solely on finding our deals, our single family house deals off market for sale by owners. So where did this seller lead come from? Well, this seller lead came from a Google ad. And I love Google ads because what happens are the owners of these properties, they're going to Google, and there's about 75 different phrases that we use and attract when people are searching in Google. They'll say how to sell my house fast, or how to find a buyer for my home fast, that type of thing. Well, I love Google leads because the sellers are looking for us, right? I mean, this is very different from outbound calling, cold calling, very different than a Facebook ad that just shows up in somebody's news feed. It's very different than a direct mail or direct mailing postcards, all that. Google ads, these motivated sellers are looking for you. So the seller goes to Google and types in the keywords, and we get the lead. So an important thing about how we use Google is and this is so important, as soon as the seller puts the information in the internet, they're on the website, and they hit the submit button, immediately, myself personally, my acquisitionist that talks to all the sellers, we are immediately texted and emailed that a lead has come in from the Google campaign. And so it's very, very important to immediately get back with that seller, because if you wait even a couple of hours, they're going to even forget what they did. So we have an option we have of the Google service that we use, that we can immediately, when that text comes in, we can immediately hit the button on our smartphone that says call the lead now. So we're calling that lead immediately right after they have hit the submit button. So we get them on the phone. So my acquisitionist, Kim, she's been with me for 18 years. She gets the seller on the phone. Well, why was he looking to sell this condominium? Well, he had two really, really big motivations. One big motivation is that it was an inherited property. Both of his parents had passed away, and he was an absentee owner now. He didn't even live here in the area, didn't have much of an interest in using the condominium. And then another huge motivation was the condominium was going to the courthouse steps in a foreclosure sale only 2 weeks after contacting us through the Google ad. So he had to do something fast. He had to get it sold fast, because obviously, if it was going to sale at the courthouse steps, he wasn't going to get any money. So while we were on the phone, or while my acquisitionist was on the phone with the seller, she, of course, asked, what's the least that you can take if we close in just a few days? And so the the price that the seller was asking for was $425,000. So she made note of that, and she says, "Well, let me do." Told the seller, "Let me do a little bit of research, and we'll get back with you right away." Well, how do we get our research done? Well, we have an excellent relationship with our realtor. I've been using the same realtor for 19 years right here in our local area, here in Morehead City, North Carolina, Eastern North Carolina. We're in a small market. Our total target market's only 40,000 people. And so we get up with our realtor and we ask for the after repaired value. Now, we haven't been in this unit yet. We don't know the condition of it. The seller tells us that it's in excellent condition, but we don't know for sure. We haven't been as of yet. And so we ask our realtor to pull the comps and to tell us what's the after repaired value. Well, Chris comes right back to us same day, and he says, Jay, this unit will sell, if it's in excellent condition, will sell for $600,000 would be the recommended list price. I'm going, for goodness sakes, the seller is asking $425,000. I mean, this place must be a wreck, in horrible shape. So anyway, after we see that spread, I mean, right there, not knowing what the renovation costs are going to be, the spread right there is $175,000 less realtor fees, carrying costs, and et cetera. So we set an appointment right away to go look at this condominium. Well, who goes? My realtor goes and my general contractor goes. Well, the seller, who was the son of the deceased parents, that now is the heir of this property, he told us it's going to sell in 2 weeks. We can only do this if you can close fast. So he gives us the lockbox code that is located right there to the left of the door, the front door. So my team goes over and takes a look at it, and they report back some of the best news I've heard in a long time. The total renovation from my general contractor is only going to cost $11,000. That's unheard of. The only thing this condominium needed, and by the way, this is a 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath condominium. Each of the bedrooms are like principal bedrooms with their own private baths. He says, Jay, my general contractor says, Jay, the only thing this condominium needs is interior paint, some sheetrock repair, and perhaps either painting or getting a new front door. That's it. That's all it needs. We can't do anything to the exterior because that's covered by the Condominium Homeowners Association. Can't do anything to the deck. In my lands, that deck is a beautiful view out there as well. So only $11,000. And so once we get those numbers, I know that we can make an offer or that we can pay the 425. And I'm going to go over all the numbers with you here in a few minutes. Let me go ahead and give you, let me give you the numbers. Let me give you the numbers. And then I'm going to give you the key takeaways from this deal that unless you've got these lessons learned ready to implement in your business, then I would have missed out on this type of deal. You will miss out on this type of deal. So I'm going to give that to you in a second. But first, let's go over the numbers. So here are the numbers. I hope you're writing these down so you can follow along. So we sold it not for 600,000 or $595,000. I mean, we listed it. I mean, listen, from the time that we closed on this, and that was another thing. I closed on this condominium in it was less than a week. Less than a week I closed on this, but I had to stop the foreclosure because it was going to sell within 2 weeks of the seller contacting us. So we closed on it quickly within a week. And so I know that we're going to list it. Now, here's one thing. Here's a key takeaway. I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now. I always get a beautiful music video done, and I use Lighthouse Videos here locally. I get a beautiful music video done and about 50 professional pictures. Don't ever try to take pictures yourself of your properties, right? Always get it professionally done. And I get the music video, the walkthrough video done. I get that done for $400. And in fact, my realtor actually pays for that, right? So we got the beautiful music video done. So my general contractor got the renovation done within 1 week of me closing. You see how this is all coming together of me being in this deal only 5 weeks from the time I bought it until we cashed out. So, got the renovation done very, very quickly, got the music video done, and then we put it in the MLS. Now, I want to give you a big secret right here as to how you can build up demand and build up a lot of excitement and urgency for people to come see your properties. So we get ready to go in the multiple listing service, and we go in the multiple listing service on Mondays. And here's the category that my realtor puts it in the multiple listing service. We go in a category of what's called coming soon. Coming soon. So your realtor should know what a coming soon listing is or category. What that means is someone can look at the listing in multiple listing service. They can go to realtor.com, search for properties. They can look at pictures. They can watch the video, but they can't get in the house. Now, realtors will start making appointments to see the property as soon as it is in it listed in coming soon. But you see, we're not going to go active until on Friday at 8 a.m. So you see, we want to build up demand, excitement, and interest. And I want people to have appointments lined up back to back to back on Friday of people just waiting for their appointment to get in and see this property. So that's a big tip right there. That's a big tip right there on building up demand. Have your realtor go coming soon on Monday and then go active on Friday. Well, we did that. Well, I didn't. So I listed it at $595,000. Listed it for $595,000. Now follow the numbers so far. I bought it for $425,000. By the way, I'm going to show you the magic of private money here in just a minute as to how important it is to have private money so you can close quickly. Remember, I had to close in less than a week. So I listed it for $595,000. We went coming soon category on Monday. Well, it was going to go active. It was going to go active on Friday morning at 8 o'clock. On Thursday night, I get an all cash offer, sight unseen, but it was a lowball offer. It was like for $525,000. I said, that's ridiculous. So I don't even think I countered on that offer. And then it goes active on Friday. So we've already got multiple showings lined up. We had 7 showings lined up when it went active on Friday. So then at about 7 o'clock on Friday evening, I'm out to dinner with Carol Joy, and we have an offer come in above list price. So it was all cash, closed within 2 weeks, and the offer was $615,000. That's $20,000 above the list price of $595. So I sent a text back to my realtor to accept the offer. Thank goodness he didn't communicate that within 1 minute to the buyer's agent. I get a text back from my realtor going, whoa, 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 hold up, hold up. Just had another all cash offer come in for $628,000, all cash, no appraisal, no inspection, and close within 2 weeks. So that, thank goodness, my realtor didn't accept the first offer that I told him to accept. So we went under contract for $628,000. Now let me pause for just a second and tell you a little side story to this, and then I'll wrap up. I'll give you the rest of the numbers, how we get to net $155,140 in profit. Then I'll give you the key takeaways. So anyway, let me tell you just a little short aside here that's pretty funny. So my general contractor finishes the renovation, the interior paint, gets it all ready. And we always stage. We always stage our properties, our single family homes to the hilt. And so I'm talking to Chris, my realtor, over the phone. My general contractor, Tom, has finished the renovation. And this is on the third story. It's got an elevator. But I say to Chris, I said, Chris, how in the world are we going to get furniture and staging 3 stories up in this condominium? And Chris started laughing. He said, Jay, don't you know that this condominium came totally furnished with interior design, beautiful paintings on the wall, high-end luxurious furniture? It doesn't need anything. It's ready to go. I said, well, I just never asked anybody on the team if it had the furniture in it. And so our interior designer, Beth, didn't have to hardly do anything. I mean, absolutely beautiful. So anyway, I don't even know I had a totally furnished, luxurious condominium until we're ready to, do the music video. So anyway, so I got that all cash offer, $628,000. And we did. We closed in less than 2 weeks, all cash. So let me give you all the numbers, and then I'm going to give you the key takeaways. So here's the numbers. I sold it all cash, $628,000. Now, my realtor fee, I pay my realtor, Chris, 5%. Well, actually, the realtor community, he splits that 3% and 2% with whoever the buyer's agent is. But my total realtor fee is 5%. Now, around here, most realtors charge 6%, but I pay Chris 5% because of the relationship that we have. And we've been doing business for 19 years, and he gets a volume of business. So the realtor fee to sell was $31,400. And you say, for goodness sakes, oh my lands, Jay, why in the world would you pay $31,400 in a realtor fee? Well, guess what? I don't want to mess with it. I don't want to be doing the negotiation with the buyers and dealing with different offers and handling the paperwork and having to go through my real estate attorney to get all that drawn up. Hey, listen, I am more than happy. And look, if you have got a problem paying 5% or even 6% to the realtors to sell you properties, then you paid too much for the property, right? It's as simple as that. So I sold it for 628,000, realtor fee 31,400. Now the purchase price, as you know, well, excuse me, the rehab or renovation was $11,000. Told you that. That was the interior paint, a little bit of sheetrock repair, etc. Not much to it. The purchase price, as I mentioned, was $425,000. $425,000. Well, here's the big takeaway. I mean, do you think that was my money that I paid for this property? Well, of course not. It was private money. No, I took no money out of my pocket, and I always bring home a big check when I buy properties because I always borrow more from my private lenders than I need to purchase the property. So, how much did I borrow on this property? Well, I borrowed $450,000. So let's follow the cash. Let's follow the math. Okay. If I bought it for 425,000 and I had my private lenders wire into the closing $450,000, Well, that's $25,000 in excess cash needed to close. And let me tell you, that's my favorite phrase on my realtor's check stub. I mean, my real estate attorney's check stub is excess cash to close. And I love me some excess cash. So what did I do? I brought home a check from the closing. I mean, who wants to get paid to buy properties, right? I brought home a check when I bought this condominium for $25,000, less a little bit of closing costs. Well, what's my formula? My maximum that I'll borrow is 75% of the after repaired value. Well, my realtor, Chris, had already told me the after repaired value was $600,000. Well, what's 75% of $600,000? $450,000. So that's how much I could borrow. Well, that was $25,000 more than the purchase price of $425,000. I already know the renovation was only $11,000. So I pulled some equity out of the property even when I bought it. So back to the numbers. Purchased it with private money for $425,000. Then, what's the other figure we got to take out of this? Private lender interest carrying cost. Private lender interest carrying cost. Well, I only had it for 5 weeks. Well, run it. I borrowed $450,000 and I pay 8% interest, right? So take $450,000 times 8%, divide that, divide that by 52 weeks, multiply that times 5 weeks. That's the only time I had the private lender money. So my carrying cost was exactly $3,460 for that 5 weeks. I only pay the private lender the interest for when I'm using it on a property. Then my closing cost to buy and sell this property was only $2,000. So how do you figure this is not television junk? This is real deal, right? How do you figure the net profit? Well, here's the numbers. I take $628,000 for what I sold it for. I subtract $31,400 in realtor fee. I subtract $11,000 for rehabbing. And then I subtract my private lender interest of $3,460. So I subtract that. And then I subtract my closing cost to buy and sell, which was $2,000. So when you subtract all that, the net is $155,140. So now let me give you the 5 big takeaways and lessons from this deal. Number one big takeaway: consistent advertising. Consistent advertising. You see, with those Google ads, I got those Google ads and I use 5 different vendors to keep my Google ads going. I mean, I want to be a big fish in a small pond. If you don't have advertising going every day, if you don't have consistent seller leads coming into your pipeline every day, you have a hobby and you do not have a business. All right. So consistent ads, so important. You want to have your net out there fishing for motivated sellers all the time. That's number one. Number two, key takeaway is having private money ready to go to fund your deals. Now, listen, these educators out there running around saying, oh, just get the deal under contract, the money will show up. That makes me want to throw up and go run headfirst into a brick wall. For goodness sakes, give me a break. Where's the money going to show up if you're out there work? I mean, there's always going to be deals. There's always going to be deals. So I practice and I say, get the private money lined up first. The money comes first. And just think how much more confident, motivated, how many more offers are you going to make because you know you can close quickly and you'll never miss out on a deal because you got the private money ready to go. You see, if I hadn't had private money ready to go, I would have missed out on this deal. I mean, there's no way I could have borrowed institutional money, hard money. And by the way, I say have as many relationships in place as you can. Some of my best friends in the world are hard money lenders. But if I was using institutional money, or for goodness sakes, the bank, There's no way I could have closed on this deal. That's you having private money ready to go is the key to me being able to get this deal and close in less than a week. That's the second big takeaway. Have private money ready to go. Number three big takeaway, relationship with a real estate attorney. There's no way I could have closed this deal in 7 days if I didn't have a relationship with a real estate attorney. Of course, most states you're going to close with a title company, but you still need a relationship with a real estate attorney to prepare your closing documents. And because I'm a private lender, they don't know how to prepare a closing package, for goodness sakes. You got to have the real estate attorney prepare that. So either you're using a title company or you're using a real estate attorney to do the closing. Well, without that relationship, I mean, the worst time to be looking for a real estate attorney to prepare documents is when you need it for a deal. The worst time to be looking for private money is when you need it for a deal. You want to have all this lined up in place. So you having these relationships in place is critically important. And then another big takeaway, number 4, my realtor, having a relationship with your realtor. You see, we got up with our realtor, Chris, and immediately he pulled comps and gave us the after repaired value on this property so that we could close on it very, very quickly. And we knew what we were working with. We do not rely on any online comping values at all. My realtor knows exactly how we want our properties to look. So my realtor is going to always give me the after repaired value of the properties. So you want to have that relationship in place. Another big takeaway is a relationship with your general contractor or contractors. I mean, again, the worst time to be looking for a general contractor if you're going to be doing any renovations is when you need one, right? So you want to have that relationship or those relationships up front. Those are the big key takeaways right there from this deal. Net, $155,140 in and out in 5 weeks. And what I just shared with you are the key lessons. Now, if you would like to learn more about how to get private money, how to get it very, very quickly, how to attract private money. You know, when I say private money, I'm talking doing business with individuals, not institutional money, how to raise it very quickly, and how to get all the private money you would ever want without ever having to ask for money. Well, here's how you can find out. I'm so excited. I just recently finished videoing and filming my brand new 7-day private money challenge. And what is the private money challenge? Well, here's what the private money challenge is. And I've recorded 7 training videos. They're only like 15 to 20 minutes long. And in these 7 video trainings, you enroll in at privatemoneychallenge.com. As soon as you enroll, you will immediately get the very first video training in your email inbox. And then the next 6 days in a row at 9 a.m. Eastern time, you'll get each subsequent video training. I'm laying out all the foundational pieces to getting private money. I go into mindset, how to get all this money without ever having to sell, beg, persuade, or try to talk anybody into anything. It's all about attracting and no chasing. And in addition to learning about private money, I promise you, you're going to have a lot of fun because I'll be right there on the videos with you, engaging with you. And I say, if you can't have fun while you're doing it, then don't do it at all. So come enroll with me, have a good time, get private money at www.privatemoneychallenge.com. And I can't wait to see you in the Private Money Challenge on the inside. Thank you for joining me. I look forward to seeing you right here on the very next episode of Raising Private Money with Jay Conner.
Are you feeling inspired by the knowledge you gained in this episode? Then head over to jayconner.com/moneyguide. That's JCONNER.com/moneyguide and download your free guide that shares 7 reasons why private money will skyrocket your real estate investing business right now. Again, that's jayconner.com/moneyguide to get your free guide. We'll see you next time on Raising Private Money with Jay Conner.